Hello class, welcome to the Polity NCERT series. Today we'll be discussing about your NCERTs. We start from your 6th standard NCERT. Okay. See, before beginning, okay, you might all be aware as to now why do you need NCERTs? Yeah, what is the importance of NCERT? See, if you look at the questions that are asked in your UPSC, okay, they are asking it not from a fact such that I'm going to give you a certain content, you're going to study that, I'm going to take questions from it and ask you. Understanding? The questions are so generic, okay, that it appears like it's a very common terminology. Yes, it appears like a common terminology because it is taken from a current affair rather than from some standard textbook. Okay, how do you attempt that requires you to understand the basic, okay, as to how things are working. All right, now your 6th standard NCERT we will begin. I told, okay, understand one thing, the 6th NCERT books, okay, the intent of the books were not for UPSC people who want to start the UPSC preparation. For them, okay, for them, let us keep UPSC 6th, for UPSC aspirants, let's keep 6th standard NCERT is not why that 6th NCERT was formed. It was formed for a child studying 6th standard. Yes. Now, I'm going to tell what are the contents in 6th NCERT, and it's not pretty much difficult for you on your own to just open a 6th book and study. But understand, you are not studying the 6th NCERT book to write a 6th standard exam. To whom this was originally devised for? The target audience for a 6th standard NCERT is a student studying 6th standard. Understanding? When you are a UPSC aspirant trying to study 6th standard NCERT, then you have to understand what is it that I have to take from this which is going to be helpful for my UPSC preparations. Understanding? With that in mind, let's start the class and the AC. Okay. See, the very first topic in your 6th NCERT is diversity. Okay. I can keep explaining. The book already has one version, okay, a definition as to what diversity is. And again, understand this book devised for 6th standard kid. So, you keep pages and pages and pages of lectures or put Amartya Sen's quotes and all those things. A 6th standard kid it is designed for. Do you think he's going to be interested in wanting to study this? So they try to put it up with nice small stories. Ramu did this, Somu did this, Wo did that, Ye did that, and all those things. Yeah, just so that they can grasp the attention. Okay, they can understand the content through the storytelling. Okay, again, I am not going to repeat any stories for you, but rather similar manner of how NCERT tries to grasp the attention of them. Okay, I'll also try to tell you something, okay, which is from your UPSC perspective. Okay, I'm not going to tell you Ramu Kaku stories, but rather some examples which are from your UPSC, which are needed for the exam, but at the same point of time you understand the content. Alright, now see, this states diversity. Now before I go ahead and start explaining what diversity is, there's something called as GI tags. What do you think is a GI tag? I'm just going to give a minute. If you know the answer, just tell it out loud. See, I know this is not a live class, but let's make it and keep it as interactive as possible. Okay, so that way it's not about me just delivering a lecture and you just writing down. Oh, I'm hoping you will write it down. It is important. Okay, what is a GI tag? Okay, so I'm assuming you've told me what GI tag is. Okay, one last chance. What is a GI tag? Okay, see your GI tag. Geographical indicator tag. Geographical. Something that is local or something that is prevalent in that place. Okay? Something local or prevalent in that place. What do I mean? Meaning what this is to you. Like your NCERT, I'm going to give you some GI tags, okay, of particular places. With just this example, you will be able to understand. See, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read out a list, okay. I'm going to read out a list of GI tags of that particular place. Just listen to it, okay. All right, here goes. So from your Jammu and Kashmir, okay, from your Jammu and Kashmir, the GI tag of that particular place is Kashmir saffron. One place can have more than one GI tag. Okay, then we'll keep going ahead. Okay, Manipuri black rice. Where do you think, or which state do you think this is from? As the name states, Manipur. Okay, Rasgulla from Odisha. This is the debate that starts. Rasgulla, how is it from Odisha? Should be Kolkata, Bengal. Okay, now Palani Panjamridam from Tamil Nadu. Okay, next Gulbarga Tur Dal from Karnataka. I'm not going to give out all the list of GI tags, but there's a reason why I'm handpicking few and giving it to you. Okay, Koala chili from guesses Goa. Okay, next Idu Mishmi Textiles from Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, Dindukkal Locks from Tamil Nadu. Okay, Kandangi saris again from Tamil Nadu. Srivalli-Puttur Palkova again from Tamil Nadu. Okay. Kalpi handmade paper from Uttar Pradesh. Alright. So I told I was going to explain what GI tag. Before that, I told I'm going to explain what diversity is. And then I ended up reading out some famous things from particular states. How does this become diversity? We'll take one example in the list. Probably, okay, let's take Kandangi saris. Okay, I told you Kandangi saris. Okay, your Kandangi saris are from your Tamil Nadu region. Just one small example I'll try to tell you. See, initially, again, GI tag, if anything is coming, it means it's there, it's been there from very long period of time. Okay, so what happened was this Kandangi saris means it's a checkered pattern, or the sari has, or pura sari is in form of checks shape. Okay, and they have bright contrasting border, the bottom portion of the sari. Okay, initially somewhere in the 18th century or beginning of the time, say whenever they've been making Kandangi saris, they used to make it in silk. Okay, used to make it in silk. Okay, which meant silk itself, you know, is a very costly aspect. Okay, it's not affordable for everyone. Now when I say silk is a costly aspect, it's not affordable for everyone. I'll tell you the small scheme, okay, that was introduced by your Again, Karnataka is famous for your silk sarees, Mysore silk sarees. Okay. So what happened was, one point of time, okay, you know the stocks, right? Stock sarees, clothes, textiles, dresses, shirts, dupattas, etc. When they come and when they don't get sale at a particular period of time, the stock will get older, next new one will come. So what happened, the silk, this example I'm just telling you is only for the fact that how important the concept of silk is. With respect to India, silk is considered as a very important aspect for your auspicious occasions. Okay, so much so that when asked, okay, why silk is very important. So, with respect to India, most significantly southern portion of India, if you take, for all the auspicious ceremonies such as your marriage, okay, a silk outfit or a silk garment is preferred. Okay, now looking at that aspect, right, silk itself is a very costly fabric. So what happened was your Mysore silk udyog, okay, government started this thing where the old stock, I told you, right? Old stock means not like purana old stock which is all lost, faded, nothing like that, just the previous wala batch. They put up in a clearance sale. Okay, they put up in a clearance sale so much at a very less price. Okay, but the ones who could purchase that, okay, had to be from your lower economic groups, that is your BPL card holders or your middle income group families, okay, wherein they could show their income status and take it. So when curious people asked as to why this scheme, why not give it for everyone, who, or just why not let it out for people who, if they want it, they'll purchase it. The reason that was given was, see, the whole point of doing this is not just, we'll put a discount, people will go take it, or that, no. It is at least, okay, people coming in a mid-income group, low-income group, okay, they won't be able to afford a silk sari. But now we have put the price so low, okay, that at least, okay, so low we have put that they can buy and afford a silk sari at least once in their lifetime. Yes, it was treated as a good of luxury. Understanding, it was treated as a good of luxury, but still, why or where has it mentioned that luxury should only be for high income group? Understanding. So, this was one of the scheme that was brought in, okay, for a very short period of time. Okay. See, now there are very big debatable merits and demerits about this, but the feeling behind it, okay, or the aspect of wanting to reach the targeted audience, feeling like I also own the silk. So something about your proud thing, okay, again a good of luxury, or for many people, marriage, my marriage ke liye I can own this, for my important event I can own this, okay, that feature. Understanding? Now coming back, dialing back to this Kandangi sarees concept. Okay. So what happened was, I told you initially this was made with silk. Okay. When it was made with silk, again, like the example that we just pointed out, usually it is only for the ones who can afford it. Okay. When this comes in silk, it is only for a few sections, which means largely your mid-income group and low-income group won't be able to afford it. Okay, one more thing. I told you, where is this Kandangi sari is famous? Tamil Nadu. See, when I say Kandangi sarees, GI tag, Tamil Nadu, it doesn't mean anywhere else in India it can't be made, anywhere else in the world it can't be made. But it is famous in here. Okay, it has its natural roots here. Okay, so in your 20th century period of time, a small change started happening. What was that is, it was dependent on two things. The change to this Kandangi sari was dependent on two things. One, the cost. Okay, one was the cost, two was the geography. It's no okay, it's no wonder, or it's no information that is not known or anything. Tamil Nadu or the southern regions are fairly hotter. Yes, it is very hot, and then that is one thing. And second thing is this product being very pricey and not being able to afford by a lot of people. And this section, okay, the majority section, okay, if you take the majority of people, the mid income group and low income group were on a higher number compared to a high income group. That is true of any culture, any country, anywhere in the world. Okay, the little, okay, or very small fraction is your higher class or high income group family. For the majority of the population who belong to your mid income group or low income group, okay, this was unaffordable. Second thing, the climate and the weather there is very hot. So they shifted the Kandangi sari from silk to cotton. Okay, making it affordable and also lighter and breathable for their climate. Okay, this gained importance, and also around that area of, let's say, Chettinad area, this became a very, okay, used adornment garment. Okay, now if you see this Kandangi sari, we're talking about a particular place in Tamil Nadu. That same outfit is not wear in Kashmir also. Yes, Kandangi sari. I mean, I'm not telling you can't wear it. You wear it, whatever it is, free world, your wish. But geographically, okay, weather-wise, you will not wear a Kandangi sari as a everyday garment in your Kashmir. Why? Cold. It's very cold. It's very hot. Why would you wear outfit that you wear for heat of the summer in an extreme freezing cold? Why would you wear an outfit of extreme freezing cold in a hotter climate? Okay, your geography, okay, in a way is altering the way you dress. Yes, yes or no? The geography in a way is altering the way you dress. The same applies for even your food habits. The food that you commonly consume, let's say in Tamil Nadu, is not the same food that you consume in your Kashmir. Yes, Kanchipuram pe whatever food you consume, whatever drink you drink is not the same drink or the same food that you consume in Kashmir. Difference is there. Yes, this differences are there in all walks of life. Compared to a person living in Kashmir to Kanchipuram, everything about them is different. Like how they eat, what they eat, when they eat, okay, what language do they speak, understanding, everything is different. So much so to your economic, the way they earn their money, or the way they earn their livelihood is also very different. Now for example, I'll give you another example. I told you Kashmir, Kanchipuram, different places. Yes, geographically one is in the north, one is in the south. So you might feel like, how obviously difference is there. I'll give you Tamil Nadu, right? I gave you example for Kandangi silk. Okay, Tamil Nadu se only I'll give you one more example. What was the things in the list I gave you? Dindukal. Dindukal locks, I told you, right? Another place, Tamil Nadu only. Now they are not like one is in north, one is in south, like that much difference is not there. Kanchipuram, your Chettinad area and your Dindukal, same state. But see the difference in the economy. Dindukal, I told you, no? This place called Dindukal is very famous for locks. So much so that we have history stating that your Tipu Sultan had commissioned to make locks here. One thing about your lock is it is very difficult to, okay, pick it this lock. Okay, you can't pick this locks that easily. And now I told you Kanchipuram pe different way they earn their livelihood. Kashmir pe different way they earn their livelihood. And that was stark contrast. So yes, possibility. Now when I say Dindukal pe different way they earn their revenue, okay, compared to another place, Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu pe, they earn different revenue. Understand? We were speaking about your Dindukal, right? Your Dindukal is known for your locks, is what I told. Why do you think they became famous for the locks? This is where again the geography comes into play. Dindukal is a place, okay, a portion where you do not get adequate rainfall, okay, scanty rainfall. If at all any amount of rain they get, that is only through your northeast monsoons or your retreating monsoons. And also, with that rainfall, you cannot practice agriculture in a very larger basis. They do practice agriculture, but it is not at a larger basis. So now what happened? They had to work with what they had. Okay, they had good iron. Okay, they had good iron. So what happened was, we are not able to generate economy with agriculture full on full. Why scanty rainfall? But see, what is the next better thing we have? Iron. Okay, with iron, what can we do? Now, just because iron is there, do you think they started making locks? Again, this is where your history comes into play. One thing about your Dindukal is, let me just erase some things. Okay? Just because they don't have agriculture, do you think they started picking locks? No. Again, I told you, the society, okay, how it is, the social life, it depends on geography and it is influenced by your history. I told you, geography of your Dindukal is in such a manner that it doesn't have good rainfall. It can't entirely rely on agriculture. I told you they had good source of iron. With iron, why do you think they started making locks? I told you now, history is where makes an entry here. Your Dindukal, if I use the word, one thing is about its fort. Dindukal Fort was, this was the area that was the trifecta or the common point for all three major powers. Okay, that was your Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. All three trifecta ka common area was your Dindukal. One of the things about these three is at this point of time or about any point of time, whenever there is a business activity, booming business activity taking place, one thing that you always try to do is protect your asset. For example, compared to your 60s, compared to your 90s, now presently your 2024, we have extremely digitalized ourselves. Yes, we now, for example, when demonetization took place, we had to be, okay, move towards digital India. Yes, we had to start using this Paytm. Okay, we had to start using Google Pay. Okay, now for everyone have come up with their own pay, Airtel Pay, that pay, this pay, etc. pays. Okay, now today is very common for us. Go scan. Almost now it's very uncommon to start carrying cash around. Why? Her phone is there, charge is there, apps are there. Na, I'll just take it like that. With this concept also came the possibility, increased possibility of your data leaks, people trying to steal your money, right? So when there is a booming business activity happening in a way, then the risks of people trying to take it is also very much higher. Similar way was for your Dindikal. That was a zone which was in the common area of all these three people ka trifecta. Chola, Chera, Pandya. Now, business was booming in that area, which means what? Economy is booming. When economy or wealth, sadly, then they didn't have Google Pay, your phone pays and all. So they didn't have wallets like us, digital wallets. So they had to physically, okay, store the cash, which means they had to protect that, okay. And for a place which didn't have or which couldn't garner its economy for agriculture and was in between the zone of all the trifecta of booming business area, which had good iron, what do you think it made? Locks. Okay, it another thing is, look at this, so much so that it's told that your Tipu Sultan had commissioned for making of locks from a Dindikal. So much so that today we have in temples and all. At that point of time, temples were considered as zones of your economic activity, where good amount of wealth would be stored and all. All those temples would be locked is with this Dindikal locks only. So much so that even today we find traces of that, and we have proof stating that particular locks from Dindukal range over 400 years. Understanding? Yes, they couldn't make their economy out of agriculture, but they made their economy out of making agricultural tools, agricultural equipments. Understanding? So their society was centered in a different version of economy, different version of, okay, culture, different version of geography, okay, different version of their lifestyle, okay, rendered around all this. Understanding? So this is for one place we took. Similarly, India has millions and millions and myriads of small cultural pockets. When I say millions, the reason is, to outside it might appear like homogeneous state, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, but within that we have different amount of people. Even if you start picking families, okay, each family has a different way. Understanding? So India on its own is a cultural hotpot. Okay, it is a melting pot of cultures which is made up of things like this. Understanding? Which is why India is most diverse. And also diversity, see, with increasing westernization, globalization, modernization, all these things coming also, with these things, if you are taking one thing, no, that is our culture. We are walking with our culture and moving forward the generations, okay, which is what makes this topic, okay, that is the diversity topic, 100 years before, 50 years before independence, now another 50 years ahead, another 100 years ahead, still the most common topic is because this diversity is what forms India. Now we have at least understood what diversity is. Yes, to one extent at least. Good. Simple words. What is diversity? Differences. How these differences stem, etc. and all we just saw. Now, when you say differences in a very platonic or overview, if you start looking differences in religion, gender, male, female, okay, you work in your agriculture, service sector, textile sector, manufacturing sector, okay. Classes pay, we were speaking about your high income group, low income group, mid income group. The differences versus inequality. See, difference is not considered as a bad thing. Understand this and write down these things when I tell you. Difference is not a bad thing. Difference is a very good thing. But it has to be embraced properly and it should not be exploited. When you exploit the differences in our country, it leads to inequality. What do I mean by you exploit the differences? For example, simple example, male, female, okay, both go, same set of work, but male paid higher over a female. Why? When you exploit the difference, male separately, female separate, same work, this creates an inequality among them. The higher paid one will be naturally, okay, considered as someone like, they deserve more than you. So you create an inequality between the gender. This inequality will start getting reflected in the society, which will lead to Social exclusion meaning one condition पे it will start. Payment pay, male gets a higher pay, female gets a lower pay. This will start getting leaked to all the other sectors. Home, you come back, I deserve more respect. I don't have to do any work. Why? I'm getting the higher pay. You get the lower pay, you do it. So much so it proceeds to, I'm either way getting higher pay. Why do you have to work? You stay in home and take care of all these things. Understanding? I'm not telling this how exactly it is, but this is the possibilities that is happening in India. And not just now, from very long ago, and not just in India, throughout the world. Understanding? If you say no, such things are not there, then why do you think we are asking for gender pay parity? The right opposite to this is gender pay parity, meaning reduce the difference. Why are you telling same set of work ke liye men has to be paid separately, women have to be paid separately? Understanding? The only way when you start celebrating your differences is when you start embracing your diversity. For example, understand, see, your nature, okay? Your nature created something called as sex, that is a male and a female. Whereas your society created something called as gender. Male-centric society, female-centric society. Male-centric work, female-centric work. Male-specific social works, female-specific social works. Whereas your nature picked the difference only based on biology. There are some things biologically you can't do, there are some things biologically you can. Understanding? But those should not be considered as differences and those should not be exploited, which lead to what? Inequalities. But rather when they are embraced, meaning when you accept, okay, and you don't make them feel vulnerable, and when you don't exploit them, when you don't purposely, okay, take advantage of these differences, then it leads to betterment of society. Understanding? Your diversity is a very, very important topic, not just from your polity perspective, but also from your paper one Indian society perspective. Direct questions. All these are direct questions in your paper one. Okay, GS paper one mains pay. Your topic called as Indian society. These are direct topics. Okay, the beauty of your UPSC is so much so that you can actually use the knowledge of one to multiple places. Understanding? Regional diversities exist, and when they are embraced properly, it creates regional uniqueness. Remember, we spoke about your regional diversities? Kashmir, Kanchipuram. Yes. Regional uniqueness. Remember, we discussed GI tags. Okay. When regional uniqueness is entertained and engaged, it leads to regional integration. See, someone in Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I'm quoting that song. Yeah. So, when you quote the differences, there are certain similarities also among these people. Despite all these differences, they have one very big similarity. They are all Indians. And as long as a country stays like that, we will celebrate the uniqueness of that particular region also. But at the end, all of our region come together. We are Indian, one country. Okay, this celebrates our diversity. Okay, this celebrates our diversity, which makes it a better place for us to live. Understanding? Write both of these points down. It is important. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute, so you write this down. Done? Okay. Let's move ahead. This is the summation of what we spoke up until now. Geography, history, society, polity, economy are all intertwined. Okay? If a society is in a particular manner, it's because of all these factors working together. Okay? Fine. Now, because we're on the topic of diversity, we always use this phrase, unity in diversity. Okay? This phrase was coined by your Jawaharlal Nehru in his book, The Discovery of India. This is direct quoting of your Jawaharlal Nehru in the book, Discovery of India. I would suggest you to memorize this. Okay? Why? Because this will be useful for you to quote in your essay paper. Okay? Like I told you, the beauty of UPSC is the topic that you learn somewhere. Okay? You can utilize it in multiple places. Okay? This might be just a 6th NCERT, but the topic is very much useful for you. In your essay paper, you can quote it. Alright? So, what does Nehru say about diversity? Let's see. Nehru says that Indian unity is not something imposed from the outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. The widest tolerance of belief and custom was practiced, and every variety acknowledged and even encouraged. Okay? See, one of the ways to achieve diversity, okay, I'm using this word, one of the ways to achieve diversity in a positive manner, okay, is through your tolerance. Tolerance to others' culture, tolerance to others' belief. Okay, see, I personally might have different belief systems. Okay, but that shouldn't impact and affect others. For example, let's say I am I'm not a believer in God. Let's assume. Okay. Now, okay, I may not believe in God, but if I start now, let's assume I'm going to go and tell no one else is supposed to believe in God. Everyone is only to believe in science and rationality. Okay, and I so had go and tell that anyone excuse me, anyone who starts believing in God, which is not okay, which is not resonating with science, okay, which is not resonating with the nature, it's not true, but it is my assumption, okay, then that is considered wrong. Then we should demolish these things. If I give these kind of statements, and if I try to make anything like that, or if I try to harm someone by telling this to some impressionable person, this is what leads to intolerance. Okay, the idea that I think that only my version is correct, or the belief that only if they agree to my idea, this is the truth, ultimate truth, the other people, whatever their belief system is wrong. When I think that is called as prejudice. Okay, this is one version. I'll explain that is the starting point of prejudice. Excuse me. Let's assume, okay, I'm going to, okay, give an example. This was based on a common misnomer. Your British, when they were colonizing, okay, the perception they had about Africa, okay, or the perception that they had about black people was they were just muscular and they were fit for only sports, music, okay, and they were the people who would do illegal activities such as theft, smuggling, murders. This is not true. This is not at all true. You do not put these sort of accusations to a culture. These are not true because you belong to a particular race, because your skin is of a particular type. You cannot tell how all the black people are fit only for these things. Your sick mentality pe, you're just creating a prejudice or a stereotype. First of all, what is prejudice? Your belief that these people are like this. What is stereotype? You group all the people who look like that into the same category. That person might be a very smart person in education. See, it doesn't matter education, no such thing. You cannot put a blanket or a tag on someone just because of your immaturity, just because of your lack of knowledge. Understanding? That just leads to prejudice and stereotype. What do you think happens when a society starts practicing prejudice and stereotype? The tolerance level decreases. Once the tolerance level decreases, you stop embracing diversity. Okay, rather you start becoming a fanatic. No, only my belief, my religion, my stuffs only should be there, and then you start hatred towards each other. Okay, when this hatred starts coming, diversity starts breaking, the society falls into chaos. Okay, a separationist tendency starts coming in. Okay, a separationist tendency starts coming, and that results into clashes, violence, chaos into the society, and it enters into civil unrest. Unrest among the civilians and the society, civil society. The so-called civilized people will turn barbaric. Okay, once they turn barbaric, they are moving backward into the age. Okay, from your animal to homo sapien, will go back from homo sapien back to animal stage. The human being, if you remove the human feature, you're just a being. That is what will happen when you start practicing these things. And that is why we need an education. Education is not the number of degrees that you buy. You don't have to be a literate to be educated. Understanding? You need common basic values such as tolerance, compassion, empathy. Okay, these kind of things to be inculcated in the society. The very first stage for that is practice this: unity in diversity. Okay, there are sections which have different vulnerabilities because of what we have did to this prejudice, stereotypes and all these things. We have created a section of society where people are vulnerable. Okay, or people are put in a very different zone. Okay, that is not because of their lack of ability, that is because society didn't allow them to get a proper education, society didn't allow them to get an employment. Why? Because they belong to a particular religion, particular caste, particular gender. Okay, because of this we suffer, the society suffers. Okay, the generation suffers, and at the end the entire world ends up suffering. Okay, understood? So when you start reading diversity, this is not just for you to understand diversity means differences, I'm going to write it like this. No, you should be able to sit, okay, in the interview panel, and when you are going to speak about diversity, you are not going to speak about the topics that was Ramu Kaku stories. You are going to take the topic, understand it like a UPSC aspirant, because you are going to sit for your UPSC exam, right? And then think for issues that are troubling us presently. What is the issues that we are having because of this? What is the issue we are having if we don't have this? What will happen if we don't follow this? This is the type of thinking you need from these topics. That is the type of questions that your mains pay they are asking. Understanding? So what is prejudice? Judge other people negatively or look at them as inferior because they don't conform to your thoughts or actions. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it is bad. Yes. So what is a discrimination? Prejudice, stereotype, economic inequality. Majority of our marginalized sections, okay, vulnerable section, women, children, elderly, okay, a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, okay. All these people face the discrimination is because of all these trifactor. Okay, when you start discriminating someone for no sin committed by them, that is one of the worst kind of atrocities you can commit to humanity. Okay, now when I said that is the worst form you can commit to your humanity, and one such thing is practice of untouchability. Okay, just because people were born, okay, can you show what is a caste? Where is a caste? But we have been the victims of this caste system, so much so that we have discriminated, we have humiliated, we have tortured people just because they belong to a particular caste, something that which we can't even physically see. Okay, the atrocities committed in the name of caste system is too huge to be erased in one lifetime. The atrocities that a particular section of people, especially Dalits, have to carry is too huge of a burden. There is nothing that you can do to erase the amount of things that people have did to them. Now, your Dalits prefer the word they have been addressed through different names. Your Gandhiji used to call them Harijan. Okay. They have also been referred to as your scheduled castes by your government. They have also been addressed to as broken people. Okay, they've also been addressed as depressed class. Okay, so these are the different names that have been used to refer a Dalit or a scheduled caste. Okay, and practice of any form of untouchability will invite a strict form of punishment, and it is prohibited under Article 17 of Indian Constitution. Your Article 17 is a fundamental right, okay, which prohibits untouchability in any means and form. Any means and form, meaning whether you perform untouchability or you instigate someone else to perform untouchability, okay, that is prohibited. And look at this, I want you to write this down. For a country as large as India, differences and diversity exist, but what we do with that determines the plight of our nation or the future of our country. Write this down, it's important. Okay, done. For a country as large as India, differences and diversity exist, but what we do with that determines the plight of our nation. Who is this we? Who is this we? Who do you think is going to, let's say previous pay we told untouchability is prohibited. If you practice untouchability, that is a punishment, etc. we spoke. Who is that one? Who is, okay, who is the one who is going to take action? Okay, this is where we introduce the terminology. Okay, see the whole concept of a state, and to be more specific, a welfare state. A welfare state meaning the state which was created to protect and for the betterment of humans is called as a welfare state. Now this state has created something called as a government, which is there to protect people, okay, from themselves and from others. As funny as it sounds, okay. The government that we have is a three-tier government, okay, meaning is center, state, next is your Panchayati Raj institutions or your municipalities. Understanding? We will deal now with the, okay, bottom tier or your Panchayati Raj institutions. Okay? Clear up until here? Right? So when we start with Panchayat Raj institutions and your municipalities became our third tier of government. That is, third tier means different layers. Initially, we had only two layers considered like center and state. But post your 73rd and 74th amendment, okay, 73rd and 74th amendment to the constitution, we brought in a new level into our government, that is your Panchayat Raj institutions and municipalities, according to which the villages, okay, the villages are there are a lot of villages, right? From bottom we are starting. Panchayat, state, center. All the villages, okay, are clubbed. Few villages will be put together and they will be called as, let's say, a ward. Understanding? Now, let's say in this particular villages, okay, anyone above 18 plus years of age and whose name appears in the electoral roll can be a member of Gram Sabha. Okay. Now all these members of Gram Sabha, that is the best I can draw human figurines. Okay. Now these people, I told you this is a particular ward, right? They elect a member. Okay. They elect a ward member. Okay. Now this, like this, there are multiple villages. Yes. So this ward members will come together and they will elect one leader for themselves. Okay. That is called as Sarpanch. Okay. Gram Sabha is people above the age of 18 plus and whose names appear in the roll call, electoral rolls. They will select the ward members. This is called as your Gram Panchayat. Gram Sabha different, Gram Panchayat different. Very, very important and very basic information. Keep that in your mind. These people will further come together and elect one guy called as Sarpanch. Okay. Now these people will conduct this Gram Sabha, meaning, for example, in our particular village, whose name should we add to the OBC list? Whose name should we add to the scheduled caste list? Okay. So to our village, okay, where do you think a borewell should be dug? Our road has got spoiled. Toda we will do a proper straightening of the road. That is your Manrega activities, etc. And government also will give a lot of schemes, no? These are the people who will be like, ha, this particular person should have got this scheme, but because of his name in exclusion, his name didn't happen. And also, see, some national project is going to come to our state, okay, that is to our village. What do you guys think? They will ask the Gram Sabha and they have to get the approval of Gram Sabha and all. Okay, this is all the roles your Gram Panchayat will do. To this Gram Panchayat, there is one person nominated by your government, that is called as secretary, okay, who will look into all the details as to what is happening in the Gram Panchayat, okay, when was it called, what records are happening, etc. Okay, this is what will happen in the Panchayat. Okay, when your Panchayat is at village level, okay, we call it as Panchayat. When the villages, more villages you will pool together, and at intermediary level, that is when let's say 110 villages are linked together, you call it at Gram Panchayat ka level. Okay, more than that, let's say 100 villages are put together, they'll be called Panchayat Samiti at block level. Okay, whereas if you take it at the district level, it is called as your Zilla Parishad. Understanding? Now, the person who is responsible, because we're telling village, right? So someone who has to maintain all the land documents, okay, who has to collect your taxes from the land, okay, and what crops have been laid out at that particular year. All this information will be maintained by someone called as your patwari, okay, the person who is in charge of, okay, keeping the land records. What are the 3 tiers of government? Okay, I told you we have 3 tiers of government: center, state, panchayat. Okay, your panchayat is a grassroots democracy, or where we consider as true democracy. Very important, please write it down. Done? See, your Panchayat Raj system is also called as decentralization. That is, the power comes from the people and spreads among the masses. One of the strong proponents, or someone who strongly advocated for a strong Panchayati Raj system, is your Mahatma Gandhi. And this is what he said in his Young India. Again, where can you use it? Essay paper. Very important. Let's just see what he has mentioned. I cannot possibly bear the idea that a man who has got wealth should have the vote, but that a man who has got character but no wealth or literacy should have no vote, or that a man who works honestly by the sweat of his brow day and day out should not have the vote for the crime of being a poor man. Meaning, just because of person's economic status, his social status should not suffer. Understanding? The concept of voting is your political right. Okay? Just because of your economic status, your political right should not get affected. That is why in our Indian constitution, we have universal adult franchise, be it a men, women, okay, rich, poor, middle class. Those are all not the criteria for you to vote. Simple 2 criteria: age limit and citizen of India. That's it. You're entitled to vote. Whether you're a man, women, poor, rich, middle class, doesn't matter. Understanding? We spoke about Panchayati Raj. At the village level, we have Gram Sabha. At the block level, we have Janpad Panchayat or Panchayat Samiti. At the district levels, we have Zilla Parishad. Okay? Okay? All development plans usually happen there at district levels. Okay? Just a gist of what we have seen. The Gram Sabha, okay, villages are broken into wards. The ward member is usually called a panch, okay, panchi. Now the Gram Sabha will come together, the ward member, elected ward members, sarpanch, okay. Your Gram Panchayat members are elected for a period of 5 years, and there is also a secretary, okay, that is appointed by the government, and he is responsible for keeping all the records, maintenance, etc. Okay. And we were also speaking about your land records. This is the guy, Patwari, who keeps all the land records, etc. Now in the village level, it is a Patwari. When it comes to your block or intermediary level, Tehsildar, district level, it's the district collector. Okay. Administration in these areas are carried out by these people. Okay. One last thing that we have to keep, again, the target audience of your 6th NCERT book, the 6th standard students, right? One topic comes up regarding your Hindu Succession or Amendment Act. One of the reasons why, okay, I told you biology, natural selection into sex as a male and female, it's there. But the gendered selection of the society, male, female, the disadvantages, okay, one of the reason comes is due to women not owning, or the concept of ownership, okay, the concept of ownership is less in women, very less in women compared to males. Okay, why? Because the concept of inheritance, okay, concept of inheritance is usually to the male or sons, not for the females. To right this wrong, okay, to reduce these differences among men, women, okay, and also to reduce the inequality, okay, your Hindu Succession Amendment Act was made 2005, in which women, that is wives, daughters, are also eligible for inheritance, okay, not just males. Understood? One last thing we will be speaking about is the livelihood of people. Okay, usually when it comes to your rural areas, the prime focus of your economic earning is through your agriculture sector. Okay, and see, just because you say someone a farmer doesn't mean, okay, that person has to be agricultural activity by holding only so much land. Small, very fragmented land holding, let's say 30 cents of land he is holding, he is also called a farmer. Someone who's holding 300 acres of land, also a farmer. Okay, they are performing same activity, but the economy they are earning from that activity is very different. Understanding? Rural livelihood activities pay, again I told you, you have agriculture, fishing, dairy, okay, non-farm activities, okay, that is where your dairy, animal husbandry, etc. will come in. Right? With respect to your urban livelihood, majority is your blue collar jobs or tertiary sector or your service sector, and also focus is there in your manufacturing sector also we see here. Again, where you provide services, tertiary sector, manufacturing sector, where you contribute your services. Understanding? So there is a different livelihood seen in your urban and rural divide, which also dictates the way of their life. Understanding? So to sum up your 6th NCERT, it is all about the diversity or the differences which stems in all walks of life and how it affects their social life, political life, economic life. Understanding? And the whole thing that we are trying to convey through this is you have to minimize, okay, no one is telling, we will change all these differences and we will make sure everyone will do same activity, everyone will learn the same. No, that is not correct. What we are trying to tell is, okay, you embrace, accept to these differences positively, but reduce the inequalities, okay, reduce the prejudice, reduce the stereotype, and be a more accepting society as a whole. Okay, understood? Now we've come to the end of your 6th NCERT. I'm hoping you've understood. We'll again meet in your 7th NCERT. Okay, thank you class. Hope you enjoyed the session.